After slamming into Dominica as a Category 5 storm, Hurricane Maria is taking aim at Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Capital Weather Gang's Jason Salmon now breaks down Maria's track. Clarissa Jimenez/The Washington Post. This article, originally published at 11:45 a.m., was updated at 8:25 p.m. to reflect the latest National Hurricane Center advisories. After decimating the island of Dominica, Category 5 Hurricane Maria is plowing toward the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, the next target of its assault. Tuesday night and Wednesday, the intensifying storm will inflict a potentially catastrophic combination of destructive winds up to 175 miles per hour, coastal inundation from surging ocean waters, and tremendous rainfall. This is going to impact all of Puerto Rico with a force and violence that we haven't seen for several generations, Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rossello told the Associated Press. "We're going to lose a lot of infrastructure in Puerto Rico. We're going to have to rebuild." The National Hurricane Center urged those residing in the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico to rush preparations to completion. On the forecast track, Maria would be the most destructive hurricane in Puerto Rico history, tweet Eric Blake, a forecaster at the Hurricane Center. As the storm further strengthened Tuesday evening, Michael Brennan, another Hurricane Center forecaster, tweeted, "Starting to run out of adjectives for #Maria. Horrifying. Hurricane Jose, while a formidable storm, is predicted to bring disruptive but far less severe effects to coastal areas in the northeast U.S. Wednesday. Moderate rainfall, minor to moderate coastal flooding and pockets of damaging wind are possible from eastern Long Island to eastern Massachusetts." Hurricane Maria, the latest at 8 p.m. Maria was positioned 60 miles southeast of St. Croix and was churning to the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. Hurricane warnings cover the U.S. and British Virgin Islands as well as Puerto Rico. The storm had strengthened Tuesday afternoon and evening, its peak winds increasing from 160 to 175 miles per hour. Tropical storm force wind gusts had already begun in parts of the U.S. Virgin Islands, with gusts reported up to 63 miles per hour in the eastern part of St. Croix before 7 p.m. The forecast passing over very warm ocean water, Maria is likely to maintain Maria at Category 5 strength into early Wednesday. It now appears likely that Maria will be at Category 5 intensity when it moves over the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, the Hurricane Center said. Conditions in the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico will deteriorate Tuesday evening as tropical storm-like conditions commence. The core of the storm and its violent winds are expected by early Wednesday morning. Because the storm is a relatively slow mover, this region can expect extreme hurricane conditions for an extended duration well into the day Wednesday and perhaps into Wednesday night. The effects forecast by the National Weather Service over Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands are dire, and its warning statement carries an apocalyptic tone. It says to expect catastrophic damage from winds to 175 miles per hour, including structural damage to sturdy buildings, some with complete roof and wall failures. It warns that locations may be uninhabitable for weeks or months. It also predicts devastating to catastrophic flooding from rainfall amounts of 12 to 18 inches, with isolated totals exceeding 25 inches. It says the rain may prompt numerous evacuations and rescues and enter numerous structures within multiple communities. Then it adds that streets and parking lots may become rivers of raging water and warns some structures will become uninhabitable or washed away. Along the coast, the Weather Service describes extensive impacts from a life-threatening storm surge at the coast, reaching 6 to 9 feet above normally dry land. The highest storm surge is likely to occur just north and northeast of where the center makes landfall, which could target southeast Puerto Rico and the south shore of St. Croix. In the areas hit hardest by storm surge, the Weather Service describes these effects: large areas of deep inundation with storm surge flooding accentuated by battering waves. Structural damage to buildings, with several washing away. Damage compounded by floating debris. Locations may be uninhabitable for an extended period. The projected storm track is such that the most severe conditions may target St. Croix and southeast Puerto Rico. But the storm is expansive enough that small wobbles could bring devastating effects farther to the north and west, including over the same areas hardest hit by Hurricane Irma, such as St. Thomas and St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands and the entirety of the British Virgin Islands. And even if these islands remain north of the storm's core, a dangerous storm surge of up to 7 to 11 feet above normally dry land is possible. Puerto Rico is very vulnerable.